Talking F1 with Steve, Neil and the Gov. Hello again, my friends, and you are my friends, and welcome to Checks Watch, your Wednesday, 7:15, Talking Formula One pit stop. Yes, it is a Wednesday. It is not a Monday. We were due to go live on Monday. As I can see from the chat, there was a couple of people ready and waiting, ready to hear what Steve had to say about the Ferrari meltdown. But sadly, it didn't happen on Monday. It was a last-minute cancellation. And the reason why is yours truly. Now, if you watch our Talking Town stuff, which is about a football team called Ipswich Town, for those that are here just for the F1, you will see I also missed the 8:30 Talking Town extra time due to internet issues. Well, we didn't know about those issues when I cancelled the Monday show. I just wasn't ready in time in terms of booking in and then getting back my double charge. More on that another time. But we're here. It's live. It's Wednesday. Hopefully Neil will be joining us. We've got the aficionado. So for people like Dan Sparks who are looking forward to hearing Steve's rant on Ferrari, it's coming up, I think, Dan. Even the webcam is trying to brace itself, as you can see there, for a Steve meltdown. But I'm looking forward to it. Obviously, lots of talking points from the last race. We'll get into it. Rob Holmes, new YouTube member. Thank you ever so much, my brother. Welcome home. EJ, hello, guys. What a great weekend it's been for sport. He loved seeing Hamilton and Russell both get on the podium. Good race. Lloyd, Ferrari effing up the strategy. Bring balance to the world. And Adam Plant, just got me tickets through to Belgium. Come on. Look at that, Adam. Mike Baker, welcome in. Evening, Metal Jace. Hope you are well. Right, let's bring him in. The aficionado, Stephen Thompson.
No, I think Bottas he'll be the one to really hold out.
Mr. Thompson, welcome. How are you, my friend?
I'm not bad. Yourself?
Good, man. Neil has just popped into my ears. I think he is ready. I can see he's in a works van. Now, I know this feeling very well, Neil. I'm going to be brutally honest. I share your pain, but you are much more organised and used to the travelling than I am. Before I bring Neil in, how are you, Mr. Thompson? How's your week been so far? Have we de-steamed?
I'm good. I'm back at work after a week off, so I'm sort of settling back into that rhythm again.
Good man.
But yeah, I'm fine. I think I've just about calmed down from the Hungarian Grand Prix now.
Okay, well, we're going to try and rev you back up again, my man. All right, we're going to try and rev you back up because it was meltdown central. Before I bring in Neil, and then we get into the meat and the bone of the show, one word to sum up your thoughts on Hungary without any context. Don't put any context on it. Just one word that sums up your overall feeling after this weekend's Grand Prix.
Clowns.
Okay, more on that in just a second. Speaking of clowns, Mr. Positivity, Neil Mould.
Yeah, but we're crap. We're not going to dominate any team.
I didn't pay Steve to say that word for that segue. Neil, how are you?
Hello there. Not too bad.
Look at this man. Look, he's already set up to be on the road. I could take some learning from you, Neil. Where in the world are you dialing in from, my friend?
Goff's Oak.
Goffs. Okay, I won't pretend to know where it is for one moment. What's
Hertfordshire.
Hertfordshire. Oh, beautiful. God's country. So they tell me. Thank you for joining us. Before we get into the show, one word from you that sums up the weekend just been.
Brilliant.
Brilliant. Okie dokies. We've got brilliant and we've got clowns. I've got a couple of things to show you, to share with you before you get into it. The first thing I want to show to the chat is this newspaper headline from, I think it's Monday, in Italy. I have translated those words. Can you guess what they mean, Steve?
What the hell is wrong with my team?
Steve says, what the hell's wrong with my team? Neil says, morons. No, the actual answer, according to translate.com, is this man deserves more. Are they right, Stephen Thompson? Did that man deserve more?
Yeah, bang on. You know, Ferrari, the primary reason he's now 80 points behind Max Verstappen in the championship. You know, that was an absolute shocker. That's probably the worst strategy call I think I've ever seen.
Strategy. Well, funny you should mention that, because I've also got this little image to show you here, which is a Reddit poster created a cutaway of the Ferrari base. As you can see, there is a certain room there that is a little bit missing, a little bit empty, Neil. Which room's got nobody in?
Strategy?
The strategy room, because they don't have
They've got one, have they?
Yeah.
Well, this is it. But Binotto, though, Neil says, he said, we endured bigger issues on Sunday, and we didn't have, and it wasn't the tyre that cost us a chance. The Hungarian Grand Prix wasn't winnable. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, it was. Well, the interesting thing is, all through practice, they never tried the hard tyre. So you normally choose a session where you're going to do long runs, and you work out where your race pace is going to be. And they never used the hard tyre. All of us lot saw all the other teams struggling on the hard tyre. So you'd think, no, they're not going to bother using that. But they did. It was even said that Max on the soft tyre slid around a bit on the warm-up to the grid. And he said to the team, I'm struggling on the soft tyre. So it was clear to them that the hard was never going to bite. And there was other images of other drivers. It looked like they were on ice.
Yeah, he went on to say, based on our data and on our analysis, we knew the hard was not as fast as the medium, but it could have been as fast 11 laps into the stint. Yes, it didn't work, and we would not have fitted them had we known they would be that bad, Steve.
They could see how bad they were, because as soon as Alpine put on those tyres, and Kevin Magnussen as well, he had to come in early because he had damage. And Haas fitted hard tyres to him, and Alpine fitted hards to Ocon and Alonso, and they watched these cars sliding around the track with no grip, and then they thought, yeah, all right, we'll put Charles Leclerc on there. And Binotto saying the race wasn't winnable. Bullshit. Absolutely, it was, because Charles Leclerc had the pace for the lead. He was passing the leaders, he was fighting, he was pulling away, he was doing well. And we didn't have the pace in the car. Rubbish. Why can't they just
second stint?
Up? Yeah, why can't they just say, all right, we ballsed up? Any other team, if it was Red Bull, they'd have said, yeah, all right, we tried this strategy, we messed up. When Hamilton, I can't remember what race it was, but he got a penalty because the team told him to stop. Russia told him to stop and do a practice start somewhere, and it wasn't allowed. They then got a penalty for it. The team then owned up and said, all right, that's our bad. Sorry, Lewis, it's on us. Why can't Ferrari ever do that? Why can't they say, all right, I'm sorry, Charles, we messed up?
Well, Binotto would
some rubbish
be out the door.
They just have to come up with some stupid excuse when it's obvious that people who have been watching F1 for only a couple of years, people sitting there watching at home who are not Formula One strategists, can see that they're making the wrong call, and they will just carry on and do it anyway.
Well, it is important to point out, I guess, Steve, that Carlos Sainz also suffered despite not running the hard at any point in the race.
He was slower throughout, though, wasn't he?
So,
he didn't have that middle stint that Leclerc had that absolutely dominated everyone.
But it's that
level
that Binotto is sort of clinging on to, isn't it? When he makes comments like this, I think it's important to say the pace of the car today was not as expected. The speed we had when we look back to Friday and the race simulations from Friday was totally different conditions, cooler, but overall the speed today was not quick enough, whichever tyres we were using. Sainz's performance there, Neil, he's clinging on to the fact that there was somebody else not on the hards that didn't have a fast race, that he can kind of just have that as an excuse.
He's clinging on to a driver that hasn't quite matched up to Leclerc all season. And he's completely ignoring, as I've mentioned twice already, the middle stint where he just breezed past everyone. How is that unwinnable with pace that he had there?
It was stupid.
I'm just putting to you what he tells me, or what he tells the press.
They've got a lot of work to do over the summer break. They could start by hiring some strategists, but I don't know what they do. It's ridiculous. And the thing that makes me chuckle is that Ferrari, if they carry on the way they do, even if they sort the reliability issue out with the car, which is still a question mark anyway, they're never going to make progress because they're up against teams like Red Bull and Mercedes who hardly ever make errors with strategy. Mercedes have made a couple in recent years, but Red Bull, I can't remember the last time they did. They are so solid strategically. So, you're going up against a team that's got the best strategy department in Formula One, and you've also got a less reliable car. So you're never going to win it. They have shot themselves in the foot
George-
so many times.
George Russell had the hard tyre for the last stint as well. He was struggling. And
Yeah.
that's obviously how Lewis got the second.
But the
Yeah.
second he got, he's back. The best reply I've seen to the headline, Bonato says Hungarian Grand Prix wasn't winnable for Ferrari and says tyre choice wasn't decisive. The best reply to that was, boy failing the exam without studying says he won't have passed, even if he studied hard, as the paper was just too tough. Which kind of sums up neatly just how Ferrari messed it up. Now, the first race of this year, Steve, can you remember back to that one? Who was 1 and 2?
It was Ferrari. You had Leclerc dominating,
Right.
Carlos Sainz in second. Red Bull imploded in the last few laps.
They did.
Halsey
Can you
knows.
tell me, this is a question for you both, can you tell me the last team that failed to win a championship that, despite we're finishing 1 and 2 in the first race of the season? Can you tell me the last team to do that was?
I'm going to say
Is
it's
it
Ferrari
Ferrari?
again.
It is Ferrari. Can you guess
Yeah.
what year it was?
1 and 2. It's either going to be 2018 or 2010.
Which one do you think it is, Neil?
They were really good in 2018.
It's 2010. But they are
Boom.
they are the first team. So this will be if they don't win the championship, which is looking unlikely now, they will be the only team to. That's madness in itself when you say that as a stat. But
That was Fernando Alonso and Felipe Massa.
it's over, isn't it? It is over, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. They were 80 points behind in the drivers. Charles can win the next 3 races, and Max can stuff it in every race, and he'll still have a 5-point gap. Mad. And they are so far ahead. They're so far ahead in the constructors. I'm more worried about Mercedes catching and passing Ferrari for P2 than I am Ferrari actually catching and getting Red Bull. This has got to be like the best car that would have failed to win a championship. Because it is a phenomenal. It's the quickest car on the grid. It's just a little bit fragile, but they played a blinder here. You know, just when you thought Ferrari were back.
Yeah.
No.
So you've got 5 Sundays until the Italian Grand Prix. That's going to be a big one, isn't it? Because if they repeat the same mistakes as they're repeating, not only in the next 2 races, but particularly on home soil, Neil, it's not going to go well for them.
No,
The
no.
home
I imagine
soil
the
will
fans will let them know.
Particularly if you have a similar race, Steve, as this Sunday, where you capitulate in such a
expectations are going to be
way.
so high.
I think by that point, if they haven't clawed back some of the deficit, the fans will be dead against them anyway. They'll be so annoyed, as you said, the best car never to get anywhere near winning the championship.
I felt that all through Sunday night. I felt down. I mean, although obviously team-wise, I'm a Williams fan. Driver-wise, George Russell, Charles Leclerc. I just felt so down because it just felt like, right, that's it. That is the final now. And Charles, after the race, just seems so disheartened and so disillusioned. And after the race, they're in the paddock, in the pen after the race, and George Russell walks up to him and he says, he offers him condolences and things, and it's your handshake and stuff. And Charles just, I don't know what Ferrari tell him, but he needs to start saying that this was unacceptable from the team, because you need that ruthless streak. They keep saying that no driver is bigger than Ferrari, but how can they expect to win anything?
They won't win anything.
Well, people are starting to realise that maybe it wasn't just Sebastian Vettel that lost them the title in 2018. I mean, he had that crash in Germany, which is when a lot of people said or reckon that's when the title fight for Seb was over. But they made him stay out longer on worn tyres in that race. So that was a root cause, and Seb unfortunately lost it. But, they've broken Fernando, they've broken Seb, they're breaking Leclerc, they broke Felipe. It is such a heartbreaking team to support. It really is. This is why I'm glad I support Williams, because when I finished 10th, I'm over the moon.
Felipe almost won a title with him as well.
Yeah, Yeah, and he was never the same driver after his crash, was he? That was a shame.
No.
Lloyd, can't wait to see Ferrari have no strategy for Monza and seeing the Tifosi, thank you very much, ripping into them. Ian, happy birthday from everybody here at Talking Formula One. Happy birthday to you, sir.
Happy birthday.
You are 48. Yes, 48 years old. Happy birthday. Have a fantastic evening listening to us three and our sultry voices. Before we get onto the musical chairs known as the
F1
drivers.
season.
Yeah. I mean, I can tell Ian happy birthday from us three, can't I? You two are not contractually going to tell me I'm wrong, right?
No, of course.
No.
Good. Right. Okay. Just confirm it, because you never know this week what is contractually agreed and what just isn't contractually agreed. We'll come a bit more on that in just a moment. Russell and Hamilton both on the podium, on the rise. False 2 and 3. Where are we on those two and the team as a whole, Neil?
On a whole, I believe they're slowly making their way forward, but really, it's the other teams messing up. You think Red Bull, with their engine issues, they started further back anyway. To be honest, they were having a terrible weekend. Where they pulled the victory from, I'll never know. But yeah, without Red Bull and Ferrari making the mistakes, they'll be the next team after that. But they are making mistakes and they're mopping up every chance they can. And at this moment, Lewis is just pipping George to the high position.
He is, because obviously Lewis is the GOAT and George is the upstart, Steve.
I'm ignoring that.
All right, fair enough. Moving it on. Williams tweeted out today. They had a bit of news. We had a bit of back and forth on social media what it could be. What was the news in the end, Mr. Thompson?
Well, I honestly thought it would be about who's in their second seat for next year. A lot of people obviously speculating Latifi, Piastri, who knows where the hell he's going to be. He'll probably surprise everyone and go to touring car or something. Logan Sargent. But Alex Albon extended his deal for 2023 and beyond, which is awesome for that team. Really, really good. They've got a young driver they can build around. And the way he worded it as well, his tweet was absolutely fantastic. Because there was Oscar Piastri's tweet of saying that I'm not driving for Alpine next year, blah, blah, blah. But Albon's tweet basically did the opposite. And he said that it's been widely rumoured or something like that I will be driving for Williams. This is correct. Yeah.
I got it. Here it is. You can see it on your screens now. For those that are listening on our audio platforms, I will read it out to you. I understand that with my agreement, Williams Racing have put out a press release this afternoon that I'm driving for them next year. This is right. And I've signed a contract with Williams for 2023. I will be driving for Williams next year. Let's go.
Love it. So good to see, because he's been very, very good this year in a car which has been very disappointing. Jos Capito, the team boss, saying that they've fallen very short of their expectations for the year and they are disappointed because they're sitting bottom of the table with 3 points, all scored by Albon. But yeah, really, really happy with that. I think that was fantastic.
That was the Williams response. Let's go. Legal right now. Great to have you on board. Good move for Williams, Neil, as the outsider from that from the show's perspective there.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for Williams to get back to the 96, 97 era. To be honest, even a little bit after that, they were still fighting hard up the front. I'm still waiting for them moments, and
they won't do that with Latifi as number 2, though, will they?
He was quickest in practice.
They could, because they did have Ralf Schumacher and Zanardi. Was it 99 or 98? Yeah, 99. So that's a similar thing. One decent driver and one terrible one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
thought it'd be a Latifi announcement this afternoon. I did think it would be we have tendered Latifi's seat out for contractual bidding. Leah J. Norris, obviously Hamilton 44 get a win before end of season. Louis says, I reckon the likely option, Steve, is Latifi's contract will not be renewed and the other seat will go to or De Vries.
I agree with Piastri. Yeah, I agree with the Latifi contract thing. To be honest, I don't think it'll be Piastri or De Vries. De Vries, unfortunately, I think he's a little bit too old now. I'd love to see him in Formula One, but I don't think it will be him. Piastri, he's managed by Mark Webber, and from what I can hear, or from what I hear, they're both keen on another move, on another certain papaya-coloured seat. I reckon. I think Logan Sargent could have a good shout because he could bring a bit of money with him, and he also would bring a hefty American fan base. So, I reckon dollars and capital are owned by Americans. So, I reckon Logan Sargent, and he's a member of their junior academy as well in Formula 2. It'd be an outside shot, but we'll see. It's going to be an interesting off-season for Williams.
With your initial thing, it's very good that Albon has extended his contract. Cracking tweet as well. Love it. And
Bants.
As far as I've heard, Logan Sargent is doing one of the practice sessions.
Yeah, in America.
So, okay. Yeah, so he's getting involved, and I think potentially he'll be the guy that takes Latifi's seat.
What about the fella that did the stand-in for George last year?
Jack Aitken. Yeah, he's dropped off the radar a little bit.
All I see of him posting is him cycling different places, and I'm not sure really what he's doing anymore.
Okay,
he's not in Formula 2 now, is he?
Maybe as far as the whole Piastri fiasco,
that's my next question to you. Where next for them two? For Piastri,
there's been several rumours about that one.
Talk to me.
Because the guy last comment involved De Vries. He really didn't show a lot in practice. He was way from Russell. I expect a lot more. There's so many drivers now that just jump into a team and perform straight away, and you just expect a little bit more straight off the bat than he gave. It was quite a way off. So whether that's a harsh assessment on him, I don't know. But with Piastri and turning down, I just couldn't believe it. But as has come to light, Mark Webber's been seen talking to Zach Brown at the E-Prix. But if he was going to get signed for E-Prix, because McLaren now have a team in IndyCar, Formula E, and F1.
Yeah.
So they are signing quite a few drivers to fill these seats, but is he really going to want to go across to E-Prix? I can't see it. People are quoting that the titles is won, and in the way he's won them, he's pretty much looking like another Max.
He's actually got won the title, moved up, won the title, moved up, hasn't he? He's got back to back.
Yeah. Exactly.
Where do Alpine go from here, though, Neil? Because that's quite a slap in the face. He's our driver.
Yeah.
We've brought him up from the youth ranks, and then he turns around and goes, "Fucking ain't, pal."
Yeah, basically they've funded him the whole way through, or at least the end section when he's been under them. They've funded it all, and he's. Well, the thing is, it initially starts with Alonso absolutely wanting a 2-year at least extension, them not giving it to him holding to the last very second when Piastri's contract was up. They had a chance to renew it for the 1st of August. Alonso left it to the last moment. It was either like the 31st or it was the 1st where he then goes, I'm leaving. And Alpine was so slow at doing anything about it. They missed the chance. This basically said, I'm going to, you're going to drive for us next season, in which if all talks for Piastri weren't as far ahead as they are, then he would have just given in and gone, okay, but something must be in the pipeline. I still can't believe it's potentially McLaren. There's supposed to be a £24 million clause that if McLaren want Ricciardo to leave, that's what they'll have to pay him.
Wow.
And
how much?
Which is 24 million.
That's
well,
insane.
Something I heard that they could negotiate it down and all that sort of thing, but McLaren have signed over in IndyCar Alex Palou. Obviously, Herta's contract is starting to come towards the end. I think at the end of this season. You've got I can't think of his name, but yeah, they've already got a cracking lad for their Arrow McLaren SP team in IndyCar.
So,
but all of these, Ward, that's the one. Thank you. Yeah, it's brilliant. So they've already got some cracking lads in which they've got potential to do tests for. None of them are being guaranteed F1 seats or anything, but they've all been given the option to do tests and that sort of thing for the F1 team. Well, how many of these drivers are going to want to sign and have the hope of having an F1 seat and not getting it? I know, like I said, they've got these 3 different categories they're racing in, and that. But yeah, we'll have to see what's going to happen. And
the tricky thing
is Ricciardo really going to want to go out? Yeah,
that's the tricky thing, isn't it? Are they really want to go? Is he really going to want to go? Where does he go if he does? Nope. There we go. Is he really going to want to leave? And if he does, where does he go? And I think the only option for him really is, apart from that second seat at Williams, which he won't want, it's going to be Alpine. So he's going to go back to the team he snubbed for McLaren. Although this time, Alpine have got different management. Cyril Abiteboul has gone and there's new people in charge. But are they going to... Oh, we're all going. But are we going to see him go back to Alpine?
Bye, Neil.
Yeah, diddly. It's a tricky one.
Clearly, I really hope you were talking rubbish there, Steve, didn't you?
Apparently so. Well, he got that frustrated with the concept of Ricciardo leaving McLaren.
To be fair, it would be disappointing if you were a McLaren fan, wouldn't it, really?
Yeah.
While he's not in the room, Louis Fenton, Steve, do you think Williams should join up with Renault again in the future?
I hope so. Again, I'm putting the old school romantic glasses on, which I like doing about Formula One. They were a dominant partnership. I mean, they won good things with Honda. They won with BMW, but didn't win a championship. And they won with their most successful one was Williams Renault, the early noughties, mid noughties. I'd like to see it. If Renault can give them an engine that is actually more capable than what they got now, because I think you've got the 4 companies in Formula One. I think Renault are still bottom of the pile in terms of performance. You've got your Ferrari, Mercedes, the Red Bull powertrains, and then Renault. If Renault can get themselves up the grid, they seem to have just lacked power really since the start of the hybrid era. They ended the V8 era with the most powerful engine. And they've had probably one of the weakest since this era has started, apart from Honda's first attempts with McLaren. So I would like to see it, but I want to see an improvement from Renault first. But I'd love to see another one come in. I'd love to see Ford come back, or Cosworth, something like that. And because Ford have got a good record in Formula One with the Cosworth name, or maybe get BMW back in or something.
I might be way off the mark here, Steve. Welcome back, by the way, Neil.
Thank you.
Were Renault an actual F1 team back many years ago? Could you play them as a team on one of the F1 games? It would be like late 90s now, I'm thinking.
They would have been late 90s. They would have been Benetton.
Right.
And then they changed to Renault in the early noughties.
Okay, it would have been then. Because I remember being Renault, and that was one of my favourite teams back in the day to play on. I don't know why. Just I like the name, Renault. And I used to remember going to France and seeing the cars and thinking, oh, cool, how cool is that?
They were beautiful cars. Bright blue and yellow as well, the Renaults with Fernando Alonso driving them.
Yeah. Sorry, just a bit of a fanboy moment come to mind there when you talk about Renault and getting back to the old days. I think, hang on. I remember driving as Renault. Yeah. Neil, I'm glad you came back to us. In just 3 weeks, Formula One Manager 2022 will be released. Will you be purchasing the new Formula One management game? The first management game, I want to say ever, but it might be just the first one for a long time. The blurb reads, it's the official racing management simulation game of 2022, Formula 2 and Formula 3 championships developed by Frontier Developments. It's the first installment. Choose your team and be the boss with unparalleled authenticity and broadcast quality presentation. Are you buying the game, Neil?
My headphones suddenly decided they wanted to stop. Yeah, basically, if you're on about the manager game that's coming out shortly, yeah, I'll be buying it. It looks like it'll be a good game. Yeah, I can't wait. I think I'll prefer.
Can't hear
That's
you.
all right. We can't hear you, but I know what you're saying. You think you're going to prefer that to the actual playing game. Steve, you play the game. You're a streamer. Are you interested in the F1 management game?
Yeah, I'll be getting it. I might wait and see what some reviews say first. Let it cool down a bit. But yeah, I'll get it because I like that sort of thing. You know, it's nice to have a different spin on it rather than just bombing around a track, which I do love. Just different direction, which is I can take Williams back to the glory days. You know.
I'm going to be buying it as well, and I think many new fans will be introduced to the sport through the back of this. I'm a big Football Manager fan, and I think this will be really. And I've seen some early sneak peeks of it by streamers that are allowed that sort of stuff, and it looks really
really good, really in depth.
Good. Yeah, really in depth. To the point where I believe, and this may not be official. I've not checked the source, but I believe Latifi finishes 20th in every race. So
well, that is a good element of realism.
It's incredible. When it came out like that, I thought, wow, they've really got the town on the incredible realism of it, haven't they?
Yeah.
And Ferrari apparently just don't have a strategy.
Like they just implode every race. We've got
no budget.
1, 2.
There's no budget.
40 degrees out here. I'll tell you what, let's put them on intermediates. Why not?
Yeah. The budget for the strategy team apparently is zero. It can't be changed.
Yeah. Actually, quickly going back to the Ferrari thing, that cutaway you showed of their garage with the empty strategy room. Did you also notice in the engine room it's being handled by a bomb squad, by people in full bomb gear?
Didn't.
Yeah, because the engine is that volatile. It's being handled by a bomb squad.
Anything else before we let Neil get on and check into wherever the hotel he's staying in tonight?
No, I think that's it.
Okay, we're done. We are back on Monday, 7:15. Neil, go and check into whatever hotel you're staying at. Look after yourself. We appreciate you coming onto the show, despite clearly being in a lay-by somewhere. We do love Neil when he comes through like that.
Yeah.
But Steve, lead us out, and we'll see you released on Monday. You do it.
Yeah. Thank you very much for watching. Chat was absolutely fantastic tonight. It's great to see you all getting involved, and obviously love seeing all of your opinions. It's nice to see we pretty much universally agree on Ferrari as well. They are an absolute clown show. So who knows what's going to happen in the coming week? You'll probably get Latifi to Ferrari or something, or Hamilton's going to leave and join Rally. I don't know. It's been that sort of silly season so far. So we'll see you on Monday, 7:15, and have a good week.
Absolutely. It's been that sort of week. We love you, Steve. We love you at home. Subscribe, like, and leave a 5-star review if you're listening through the old headphones.